If you have ever tried to learn how to code and felt completely lost, overwhelmed, or frustrated, this video is for you. A lot of people start learning programming thinking it's supposed to feel difficult only at the beginning. But what usually happens is that the opposite. It feels easy at first, then suddenly becomes painfully hard. That doesn't mean you're bad at coding. It means the journey itself is poorly explained. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the 4 phases almost everyone goes through when learning to code, why each phase feels the way it does, and how to survive long enough to actually get good. Before we start, I want to be clear. This explanation is based on a well-known framework originally developed by Eric Torsman, the founder of the Odin project. I'm not reading or repeating the article, I'm explaining the ideas in my own words, because this framework helps beginners understand what's really happening when learning to code. Let's just start with the big picture. When people imagine learning a skill, they expect confidence to rise steadily as the skill increases. But coding doesn't work like that. Instead, confidence goes up, then crashes, then slowly climbs again. Your competence is improving the whole time, but your confidence does not match it. Understanding this mismatch alone can save you months of self-doubt because most people quit, not when they're failing, but when their confidence collapses. Now, let's break this journey into 4 phases. The first phase is what I call the handling honeymoon. This is where most people start. You're using beginner-friendly platforms, interactive tutorials, and step-by-step lessons. The environment is safe, mistakes are explained. Nothing is really broken for very long. You're learning important things like variables, loops, conditions, but you're learning them with constant guidance. And because of that, your confidence rises quickly. You start thinking, this isn't so bad, maybe I'm good at this. And that feeling is real, but it's also temporary. Because this phase mostly teaches syntax, not independence. Here's the problem. The handling honeymoon feels like progress toward the finish line, but in reality, you're only at the very beginning. And eventually, the support disappears. That's when most people fall off the cliff. The cliff of confusion usually appears the first time you try to build something on your own. You open a blank editor. No hints, no scaffolding, no green check marks. Suddenly, nothing works. Errors don't make sense. Debugging feels like guessing. Every small win feels like luck instead of skill. Your confidence drops fast. This is the phase where most people start thinking, maybe coding just isn't for me. But here's the truth. This is the first time you're actually learning how to program. The difficulty spikes doesn't mean you're failing. It means the training wheels came off before your balance was ready. To understand why this phase is so painful, you need to understand two hidden forces that shape the entire learning journey. Force 1, resource density. At the very beginning, resources are everywhere. Search learn to code, and you will find thousands of tutorials designed to help absolute beginners. But as soon as you leave the basics, that density drops sharply. Help still exists, but only if you know exactly what question to ask. And beginners don't yet know how to ask good questions. Force 2, scope of knowledge. Early on, everyone learns the same small set of concepts. But once you move past the basics, the number of things you might need to learn explodes. Languages, frameworks, tools, best practices, architecture, debugging, strategies. You don't just know this, you don't know what you don't know. Low resource density combined with a massive scope of knowledge creates the perfect condition for frustration. This brings us to the longest and most dangerous phase, the desert of despair. In this phase, you can build things, but you don't feel confident about your direction. You don't know if you're learning this right scale, progress feels invisible. Every new tutorial looks like it might be missing the piece. So you switch paths. You try new courses. You chase shortcuts. These are what I call marriages. They look like solutions, but they keep you stuck in the same place. Most people quit here. Not because they are incapable, but because they can't see the end. If you persist long enough, something changes. You start understanding documentation. You can debug problems systematically. You can build and launch real projects. This is the upswing of awesome. But it comes with a new problem. You know your code works, but you don't know if it's good. You feel capable and insecure at the same time. This is where imposter syndrome lives. And paradoxically, this uncertainty is a sign of growth, not weakness. So, how do you actually survive this journey? First, pick one path and stick to it long enough for it to work. Constant switching resets your progress. Second, build a small project constantly. Experience compounds faster than tutorials. Third, read other people's code. Understanding why something works is more valuable than making it work. Fourth, get feedback from real humans. Programming is not meant to be learned in isolation. And finally, stop chasing shortcuts. There aren't any. The goal isn't to feel confident every day. The goal is to stay on the path long enough for competence to catch up. If learning to code feels hard right now, that doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It usually means you're exactly where you're supposed to be. If this video helped you understand this journey, consider subscribing and share it with someone who is stuck at the cliff.